Welcome to our home. We have a lot of kids here and a lot of coming and going, but we try to make it comfortable and homey with lots of collected things and things that have been found at garage sales, side of the road, gifts from family. I honestly don't think I've purchased one piece of furniture for this house new. It's all secondhand, including this corner cabinet here that we found at a garage sale my mom rescued. It was a kitchen reno that had been ripped out, and it was orange pine that we chalk painted, and I store antique books and pictures of my kids. I plan to make this my Blackbird Designs corner with lots of antique looking stitching. That chalkboard came from the trash. It used to be a dry erase board. Spray painted that with chalk paint and made that wreath and the garland and the sign. I had that antique mirror for about 24 years. It was from the Kansas Coliseum antique show they used to do a long time ago. That wall's going to be painted soon. Kind of a sea salt, Sherwin-Williams color. This centerpiece comes from my favorite antique mall, the painted tree. I made that muslin wreath to copy some of their staging they had there. I thought it made a pretty nest for that bird. There used to be a glass dome for that cake stand, but it got broken by my kids, so now it's just a pedestal for this pretty bird. I had this antique flower sack fabric from my grandma, and before I realized what I had, but I am glad I get to enjoy it. And speaking of, there is my grandma Helen that taught me to love stitching, and not while she was alive, but inspired my needlework hobby. Here's some of her work. The Amazing Grace piece was from a kit, and this is a Paula Vaughn, I believe it's called Love Song. It is huge. Lots of back stitching, lots of detail. Perfectly stitched. She was very talented. Here's some more stitching over here. Oh, first I want to show the area where I have a little writing desk. I use this area for my Bible study and planners. My husband has commandeered it during the quarantine time and works here to study in the mornings. I made those drawers from an IKEA wooden set that I don't think is available any longer. I decoupaged the covers with papers from the Planner Society, Christy Tomlinson. I used to be in her club. She makes beautiful papers. There's all his not so beautiful stuff, but that's okay. I'm happy to have him home more, as long as it lasts. I rearranged some of the things on the stairwell from the Christmas tour. The angle didn't seem right until I moved that up. And brought over some spring stitching. There's the garden medley by Heart in Hand on my own hand-dyed fabric with some brass charms I added. That cotton wreath has been there a long time. I'd like to add some cross stitch to that. And there's my second daughter my husband's holding. She was 5 pounds when she was born. Jenny by Stacy Nash Primitives sits by a nest we found in our backyard. And Welcome Spring by With a Needle and Thread needs to be switched out for Patriotic Poppies. I'm almost finished with the summer piece. This lamp was damaged, so I took the lining off and clipped a bunch of old documents from my husband's grandmother, Jewel. There's her Girl Scout membership cards, some report cards, lots of old papers that I didn't want to throw out, and I enjoy looking at now. And over here is a picture of my dad. Wasn't he cute? 1948. The stairwell has all 4 kids going up. I think there's too much sun here for needlework, and the painting is a little tricky there that needs to get done. Don't know how I'm going to tackle that. I made those sconces a little while ago, showed it on a video a couple months back, and really enjoy the way they are so symmetrical with that design. I have a lone elm lane piece that's going to go right in the center of that, but for now there's a target sign and a burlap bow. I try to put these hook racks throughout hallways and areas that are busy just to help with jackets and purses and backpacks. There's a lot of us in the house, so that's a cheap fix for a hook rack. And this same idea with this rack my husband made and I stained for switching out photos. Love this sampler on the clay wall. Part of the reason for painting was to complement my samplers that I intend to have up there. Really happy with how this turned out, and the mantle used to basically fade out against a white wall. You couldn't even tell the stone was there. I have layered garlands that came from Hobby Lobby. The black and white buffalo check, they have had out a lot. I found this wooden piece in our garage. It belongs to the hutch up front, but we couldn't have it on there when we set the hutch on top of the bottom piece, so I finally found a place I like it. Kind of added some antique quality to that mantle, and then the black and white buffalo check garland I added red into with bread ties. I just kind of bunched up some rags and interspersed it to make it more patriotic looking. And the flag I got from Hobby Lobby, I believe it was Hobby Lobby last year on clearance. I thought it looked really cute. And those flags, one of them I tried to antique myself on the left, not very successfully, and the one on the right I bought at a boutique and it was already old looking. I need to go back and get another one of those. I like to have branches and green things even though I have kind of a black thumb. My frame there is an antique that I found at a thrift store, and it's actually filled with black poster board right now. I intend to paint an actual wood piece, but not for this time. There's my summer ABCs. I did a conversion on it, detailed in my last flosstube video. The holiday tree has cardboard ornaments I made from cereal boxes and covered with scrapbook paper. And the coffee table, of course, has a robot triceratops. Had to have a red bow A lot of those frames I painted myself from raw wood. I buy them in the Hobby Lobby raw wood section and layer on colors and then antique over top. Sometimes I add wax, sometimes I don't. That one started out as a document frame from Dollar General, and I added teal to it. Here's a picture of me in 1980 with my daughter. My mom says we look a lot alike. This is a favorite corner since I added my new sampler from Stacy Nash, the Miss Baxter's house. I have some antique toolbox, and then a craft box for patriotic stitching and projects that I've got in there. About to switch that out for sunflowers and bees after the 4th of July. So a couple more weeks. This piece was pretty crusty. I found it on the side of the road. I just helped it along a little, made it even more crusty. And added a wood board on top with a runner since the glass was out of this piece. This piece was my great-grandfather's. It's a over 100-year-old lithograph of the Broad and Small Way or Narrow Way. I don't speak German. I used to study that as a child when I was at my grandmother's house. It's really cool. I have some space at the top of this wall for a couple more samplers that I'm working on, and there's a clock that my mom gave me. It's not telling the right time, but I really like that. Here's a trough I got from Hobby Lobby that holds a lot of the Etsy crafts that I've done over the last month and a half. Simple crafts, but lots of fun. There's a piece from Pineberry Lane. I finished it pretty primitively, and some crafts from my kids that live in the lantern. The lantern stays out all year. I changed the bow for different seasons and plan to add some more greenery in there. We've also kept the birthday decorations up throughout May, June, and July. We have all of the family except my son and I during those months, so I just change out the name on that chalkboard cupcake. My daughter's birthday was last week and my husband's is in 2 weeks, so this will stay up until my youngest daughter's birthday's over. Lots of birthdays in the summer. That's where my Chalk for the Home series is waiting. I still haven't finished the Rose Cottage, but I also haven't been able to get to Dollar Tree to find a fill-in. I haven't wanted to go to too many stores if I don't have to during the quarantine. I painted some family rules that I refer to during dinner often. And love this wreath over here that I made. I've shown that before on my channel. I like the French kind of nod there with the fleur-de-lis, and my favorite color of turquoise. My son has some swimming plans. That was his artwork for school. Homeschool. And here's the last spot I put cross stitch for now. I have a skinny swimmer from Hands On Heart and Hand. I can't remember who did that one. With my Lori Mitchell figurine. I thought they were cute with their inner tubes. And then I have my very first cross stitch that is pretty sad. I still like to display it though to remember what I've learned. The banner came from, or the pennants came from Target Dollar Spot. They're kind of sparkly, it's hard to tell. There you can see. And I just stuck some cupcake flags in a few spots. I have bee decorating plans in the works. This is a piece my mom gave me that was painted by a local artist. And my turquoise cow has room for another chalkboard form above. I hope to put that on an arched window. And I've recently added these leather suitcases to the top of my cabinets. They've been in a closet, so. I have these towers around the room. I wanted to point out just something I've noticed. I have my paper plates for when we do snacks, and not every day, but nice to have. And then I have my lantern and my 3-tier tray. They almost make like a trio of towers that I always kind of change for the seasons. My 3-tier tray is mostly utilitarian. It has condiments and lemonade mix and napkins and things in jars. A couple of cups people have given me. One of my homemade stars and a little pig on this other side. I'll probably do more with this tray when it comes to time for bees, but I still enjoy that. I mainly wanted to show my home as an example of not feeling like you have to have the most expensive or newest stuff to have a nice home. My entertainment center was a cast off that I got for $50. My coffee table was $30. I built all the shelves and hooks and found things on the side of the road and just patiently accumulated things that made me happy and that appealed to me. And now the stitching has added a new element of homemade and just personal attention that I really enjoy. A world that's been opened up to me through flosstube. Thank you so much for tuning in and seeing my home. Let me know if you have any questions.